hello, fam. We are back. It is your girl, Tomi.
And Nicole.
Welcome to Content Culture, your favorite podcast for all things pop culture, reality TV, and basically whatever kind of tea gossip that we want to talk about this week. And of course, as we did with the previous Bachelor seasons, we're going to dive in today for Michelle Young's season of The Bachelorette and talk about her cast. I, for one, am very excited to kind of get into it because I saw those cast photos when they first came out and I was not too pleased, but I've learned through the grapevine that I think their Instagrams are a little bit better, so I think we're going to take a look at those today too.
Yes. And can I just say, this feels, cheers to us, because this feels like a big moment. This is the third season of a Bachelor franchise that we have, that we'll be recapping this year. We started with Matt James, then we did Katie's season of The Bachelorette. We took a little break during Paradise, but we had some content come out, so be sure to check it out. And now we are going into The Bachelorette for Michelle Young.
I know. What? I'm going to give us, here's a little round of applause. Well, add in the audio? Probably not, because I'm lazy. But just imagine it's there. A crowd, standing ovation. Thanks, guys.
Amazing.
It's for you, the fans. That's why we do this. Also, just because I love garbage TV.
True. All right, do we want to jump into this with our first contestant?
Let's get started. And can I just say, while, not always does the YouTube element give what it needs to give, but I would highly suggest, if you love our audio version of this podcast, that this week you also try and tune into our YouTube version, because you'll kind of be able to see the photos of these cast members as we're talking about them, because I'm sure it'll give a lot better of a visual when there will be the eventual, a look of disgust, perhaps, distaste, wanting better for someone out there. It might give a better idea when you're seeing it through a video format.
And I'll be honest, I have not looked super closely at the band.
No.
Like, I looked when the cast list was out and I was like, this is disappointing. Heard the Instagrams were better, but I have not done a deep dive. So this is really going to be my first thoughts.
Also, can I just say the most important thing that I'm sure you all are on pins and needles to know about is that Bao is not a part of this cast. I think they knew that he would be too powerful in Bachelor Nation, and they've decided to blacklist him, because the fact that this man is still not being cast on our TV screens is an atrocity.
It's either that or, like, I married him and I'm not telling anyone yet. And I would appreciate if you respected our privacy at this time.
Okay.
Thank you.
No further questions.
No
so.
further questions. Val, if you're listening, I am single. I am ready.
She's like, but on the real, though.
On the real, we can make that happen. You could come on the pod. Oh, should we try and invite Val on the pod?
Should we try that? I mean, why'd you even ask? The
I'm
answer
sorry. Okay.
The answer is yes.
Stay tuned, listeners. Okay, so our first contestant from Michelle Young's season of The Bachelor is Mr. Alec Thompson. He is a former football player. He lives in Charleston, and it looks like he's a model. I just pulled up his Instagram.
Interesting.
Okay. His cast photo, he does have this on his Instagram, does not do much for him, honestly. It is not. I would be suing ABC. His model pictures are better, but I don't think this is the man for Michelle. I'll just put it that way.
It's interesting that it says a model, because it's the same with like Love Island and all these other shows too. It's like they're all models, but they make them put whatever other career I guess they have like their degree in. So it says he's an engineer on his casting bio stuff.
Oh, that's quite he's pulling a Hannah Montana, best of both worlds here.
Ooh, love it.
Okay, yeah, it says civil engineering on his profile, but it also model.
Okay.
He looks to me like your normal white man at the beach. What do you think?
Well, what does his bio say?
Okay, some snippets from his cast bio. Okay. Alec lives to make the most out of every day. After his first marriage ended, there we go, Alec learned a lot about the value of commitment and what it takes to truly make love last. He's not here to waste anyone's time. Says he's emotionally intelligent, values integrity, and he's hoping to find a woman that appreciates how much his career means to him, but will also make him want to be sentimental and bring out the fun. Some fun facts. He loves to read GQ magazine. He does not like bowling for a date night. And his favorite thing to eat for breakfast is cottage cheese, which is a red flag for me right there.
Yeah, that's an automatic X. Literally.
I hear cottage cheese and I end the friendship, the relationship. I don't want anything to do with it.
There are no ships. Cottage cheese.
It's bold to list that as your fun fact, you know?
It really is. Also, the GQ magazine. Yeah. Okay.
So do we think he's trying to get into GQ magazine as a model? Do we think he's there for the right reasons?
Oh, LOL. No, but that's because I don't think anyone's here for the right reasons.
True.
Here it is. Hot takes. For me, it's a no from Alec. It's very much a first night one type of energy and vibes. Perhaps they'll keep him on because of this like first marriage story that they can use as a little like, you know, personal trauma bonding thing. But other than that, I don't feel any type of like strong, long lasting things from him.
Yeah, I see the first night entrance and exit.
Oof. Sorry, Alec, it's not for you. Let's go to Brandon then. Brandon J. He's 26. He's a traveling nurse recruiter from Portland, Oregon. Says he may be young, but he knows exactly what he wants in life, is very serious about finding the one with whom to settle down, kind, confident, looking for a wife, whose passion and personality can keep up with his. Brandon J wants someone who has goals and focus to achieve them. He doesn't want to be with someone who is still figuring herself out, and he hopes to find someone who can be his best friend, teammate for the rest of their lives. Speaking of teammates, not only is Brandon J looking for love, but he's also looking for a little basketball. Okay, points here. Self-proclaimed basketball fiend, and when given the opportunity, he doesn't plan out on taking his shot with Michelle. Okay.
Shoot.
Fun facts, he once hopped on stage during a Lil Wayne and Drake concert. Okay. Loves Fresh Prince. All right. Brandon J has no interest ever in going bungee jumping. So basically he said, I'm a black man. Don't get it twisted. I'm not going to do all this white nonsense, jumping off a bungee, like bungee jumping, doing all these things. I love Fresh Prince. Like, he's honing it in. I like it. I think he could go to like a nice top 10, top 8 from this, just from the little like basketball connection. Perhaps they have a date that's like basketball themed. He like wins. My only thing is that he's young, because Michelle is 30, correct? Or no? That's not right, actually, because I remember when she was with Matt James, I don't remember her being that old.
She's 28.
She's 28. He's 26. No. I want an older person for her, at least the same age.
Really, I just feel like the fact that he said he doesn't want to go bungee jumping ensures that he is going to have a bungee jumping date.
Yeah, that's very true. Very, very true. Oh, let's actually look at this Instagram as well.
Okay, I was going to say, does it tell a story at all?
Because his, what's it called? His cast photo? It's not the worst, but it's not an eye-turning type of thing.
Correct.
Instagram leaves a lot to be desired. He looks very young, not updated, but like maybe that's also a good thing.
Right.
Because I know like I've seen a lot of stuff on like TikTok and stuff now is like people love this idea of like men who don't keep up with social media at all.
Right.
Because it's a red flag if they like post a lot. Please tell me about this as someone who is out here in the dating streets. Like, is it really something that you don't like?
No, I have seen this like discourse around this. I think the thought is that if they have a lot of female followers and they're following a lot of women and liking pictures back and forth, that they are perhaps the non-committal type.
Okay.
But I don't know that I would have it as a red flag for me.
Yeah, I think I'm just so skewed because of what we do that I don't think I've ever think of like, oh, look at his online presence. He's a horrible person.
Right. Like, I wouldn't think anything if they were not very active online, but I don't know that I would be like, oh my gosh, no, if I saw that they were someone that was active online or like were like us and were an influencer.
I think it always comes down to the content. Like, is he doing like the little like shirtless selfies, like one arm up, trying to show the little like V thing? Like, that's too much for me. But
right,
you know, if it's a funny TikTok here and there, sure, I'll allow it.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like someone funny.
Regardless, Brandon, I don't know. I don't think it's in the cards, but you look nice. Perhaps a week 3 or 4.
Okay. Next up, we have Brandon K. He is 29. His cast photo, it isn't doing it for me. I'll be honest. But his bio is that he's from Austin, Texas. He's a brand manager. It says he's a polished Southern gentleman who just hasn't found the right one yet. He's looking for love that is playful and feisty. He thinks love should be simple and memorable. He wants to make a real social impact within his community and hopes to find a partner who wants to make the world a better place alongside him, which I do think speaks to Michelle when we think about when she came on to Matt's season. She gave the little Maya Angelou quote. She's a teacher, all of that. He says he'll know he's found the one when being together makes him want the night to never end. So here's to hoping to many sunrises together for him and Michelle. Some fun facts. He loves the cha-cha slide, which is...
it's aggressively Caucasian. Okay.
Yeah, it is. I didn't want to say it, but yes. Yes. I was like, that might be a deal breaker. He dreams of delivering someone an oversized check for a life-changing amount of money. It's an interesting dream. And he always buys travel insurance. This is very...
this is wholesome.
It's wholesome. Yeah.
No, say what you're going to say. Don't hold back. This is honest. This is a safe space.
This is a very white man. And there's nothing wrong with that. I appreciate a white man, but his dream is to give someone an oversized check.
I think that shows gift giving is his love language. He loves to make people happy. He's selfless. I'm really trying here. To be honest,
he loves to cha-cha slide.
He gives good vibes of like he's in a silly, goofy mood. He doesn't take himself too seriously. The cha-cha slide, like the age. He's. I'm trying to think of someone like to describe what he looks like, but he gives off the vibe of like I live in Austin, Texas, or Portland, Oregon, kind of like granola-ish, but like slightly more refined.
Right.
And this Instagram, too, I was scrolling through.
Oh, he's got a master's from Vanderbilt?
And he has the master's from Vanderbilt.
So there's some money here. You know what?
An MBA.
Maybe the cha-cha slide isn't so bad.
There you go. There you go.
I don't know. I feel like he's going to be a good guy in the house. Maybe like a fun contestant that's funny. That doesn't have too strong of a connection with Michelle, but that she likes as a friend.
Okay, fair. And you know what? I'm writing him down because I want to...
She saw Vanderbilt and she said, "Ooh, let me write that down."
It's a bit of me. No, I like the choices that he used for his fun facts because they're like very weird, but also unique. And
it felt strategic.
Yeah, they're very strategic. The travels insurance thing, that shows like you're kind of like a nerd. Like, you know, you're all about the extra safety. Guaranteed, but you also love to travel. So, because I'm not buying travel insurance to just like hop over to like Florida, you know?
Right.
That means you're ready to take me on flights, get flued out.
Right. So, I see your points.
Thank you. Should we move on to Brian here?
Yes.
So Brian is a 31 NFL player from Chicago, Illinois. And I also took the liberty of Googling because it didn't say former NFL player as they usually do with these cast photos. Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh, fascinating. That means he must be like playing for a team right now. This man has played for a different team since 2014. Not a single from like Houston, Texas, Saints, Cowboys. It was basically easier to say which team has he not played for in the league in terms of a list. But most recently it was the Falcons. I think he did like practice squad stuff with them. But let me read some stuff here. Brian is not your stereotypical jock. Okay, they all say that. He's a foodie, religious, family-oriented, completely down to earth, and all about finding himself a wife. He considers himself to be quite the romantic, and thanks to all the rom-coms his older sisters made him watch growing up, Brian is all about making big moves to show his affection. He loves to travel and hopes to find a partner who will join him as he dines his way across the globe. Brian is a big believer in fate and feels that his being here to meet Michelle is serendipitous and that it's a match truly meant to be. He loves philosophy and would like to ask Socrates a few questions. Audio listeners, if you can't tell, I am severely rolling my eyes right now. Brian has been to every continent except Antarctica. Oh, okay. Brian thinks orchids are majestic.
Majestic?
Everything was just like too much for me. It was I'm not like all jocks because I read philosophy. Okay.
Yeah, it sounds like a character written in a romance novel to me. But
Do you
I
read
will
critical race
say,
theory, Brian? What are your involvements within the community in Chicago? That's what I want to know, bub.
I will say he is kind of an interesting contestant in that it's the first contestant we've seen with some in a larger body. And so there's some talk about like he referred to himself as a thick boy. He was like, they're finally letting thick boys into the Bachelor world. And I was like, you know what?
A thick boy.
That's what he said. It's on his Instagram. I swear he said it.
Was it like the little like video thing that they do? Or is it like on his caption?
I think it's in his caption.
Oh my gosh, it is. Well, the Bachelorette decided to finally find some thick boys, 2 C's. Tune in to see how this hefty lefty does in search of the one. Oh my gosh.
So like he's too much, but like I'm kind of rooting for him just off that alone. I'm like, come on. He's not the match for Michelle. I want to disclaim that right now for anyone listening. But he seems like he could be funny. Like he's a problematic fave. Like he's funny, but also like he's not our woke king.
Yeah, I don't feel it from him. I feel these vibes of like a little bit of my fight or flight is being activated, and I think it's because it's giving off this vibe of like, oh, I have a bunch of sisters, so I know what women want. Like, I can't be the bad guy here because I read philosophy and all this stuff, and whatever. Okay, fine, sure, good for you.
That's fair. He does like the bio of like I have a lot of sisters does give a vibe of like, someone asks you about feminism. He's like, wait, can I say something?
As the younger brother to 4 sisters, growing up in a house, letting women use their voice. Okay, got it. Ooh, calm down, TED Talk. Lean out for a change.
Okay, so any other thoughts on him before we move on?
His Instagram, again, it does give like I do enjoy the vibes a lot more from his Instagram than from what the bio is saying, but there's also, I don't know. I feel like there's some secret. I don't know. I think there's just gonna be some stuff revealed later on about this man. I'm just gonna say it. We don't know what it is, but I feel like it's gonna come.
Wow, Tomi is triggered. Okay, all right, yep, we'll keep an eye out for it. Next up, we have Casey. He is 36 and an advertising creative director from Miami Beach, Florida. He's at the point in his life where he wants something serious and long-lasting. He loves life in Miami, but says he has outgrown the local dating scene where women care more about their Instagram stories than making meaningful connections. Womp womp.
Get this guy out of here.
Yeah, he's already being like, you're not like other girls energy, and I hate that. It says he's looking for a woman who's ready to be a mom because Casey is ready to start a family and give his mom all of the grandbabies she so badly craves. He also loves his job raising money for philanthropic ventures and hopes to find a wife that loves to help others as much as he does. He's excited to meet Michelle and find love without the outside world's distractions. Fun facts, he says he is secretly a hippie. He likes camping, but he hates sleeping in tents. And he takes his eggs scrambled with salsa. I don't know. So then I go to the Instagram and it's his name and music at the end. So he's a musician. So I am triggered in that way. I'm like, Jed, is that you?
So he also looks like what's his real name? It was like Glitter and the Goose of like Kristen and that
Chris
guy.
Randone.
He looks like Chris Randone a little bit to me. Slightly like
Yeah.
more tanned version. It's the Miami Sun.
They could be cousins. There's a picture of him in like a Hawaiian shirt, and they could definitely be cousins.
I need to scroll down a little bit further on this feed to
Why are there
this
naked women?
Right. Correct.
Okay, so he likes art, but I'm just a little confused. He has a cork. Well, I don't think it's a corgi. It's a little too fat. That's not body shaming that dog, guys.
No, we said thick boys this season, so that also means
Yeah.
thick, good boys.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have used fat. I should thick.
No, but I think what annoys me is back to his official bio is talking about the Instagram stories, like whatever, making meaningful connections. I'm so over this. Like, we're in 2021. Like, why do you think just because someone uses a social media app that means that they have no depth to them as a person? Versus saying, hey, I'm in the digital age. Maybe I should use these tools to help me as a business, to grow as a person, to learn, to educate myself, to connect with people across the world. Oh, woe is me for trying to do something like that. And then to have the audacity to say that when you're also someone who's a, aspiring musician. He's making like IGTVs here on his feed, not even just like, a bunch of posts. Like, this is dedicated content that you're making that's taking time and effort. So don't play all these games, traveling all over the world and posting it. If you really cared about, keeping all that stuff offline, then you wouldn't even share.
Right. I feel like men especially are so quick to like judge women for like being into social media. Like I see that a lot on dating apps where they're like, I don't want to date anyone that is interested in Instagram, or if you care about social media, I don't care about you. I don't have social media and you shouldn't either. And that's fine. Like you can have that opinion, but it's just so weird to have that opinion and then be like, I'm an aspiring musician, because you can just as easily be typecast. And he probably doesn't want to be typecast for being an aspiring musician or like have those preconceived notions. But he's so quick to judge women for posting pictures of their food on Instagram stories.
I would just never, if I was going on this show, I would never have my handle say Chris or whatever it says, Casey something music. Or like, whatever it is that could like help push you up career wise, because I think that also is just going to like automatically negate anything that you say on the show, right. Unfortunately, because that's how they've like structured this show to be. But like, yeah, everything that I'm seeing along with like, oh, I'm ready to impregnate all these women so I can give.
I've talked about this before. I don't like when men say that. Like, you are not carrying the child, so you really have no input. Like, it's really not about you at this point.
And being 36, like all of it, it's not gonna work.
It's not for me, love.
Not for me, love. Thanks, but no thanks.
Thanks, babes. Let's not have a chat.
So, Chris G?
Yes.
Oh, we have our first Canadian in the house. Chris G, 28. He's a motivational speaker from Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada. For Chris G, commitment is the name of the game. As kind-hearted as you would expect any Canadian man to be, Chris G says he is looking for a genuine connection and for someone who is all in on him the way he is on her. His ideal woman is active, vulnerable, and a good person on the inside. Chris is looking for his best friend, someone he can bring home to his family, and someone that he just absolutely adores. When he says he's looking for love, he is looking for the right soul and someone his energy bonds to. Will there be that instant spark when Chris meets Michelle? He loves escape rooms, enjoys performing spoken word poetry, and he has 2 cats. One cat named Cat, and one named Small Cat. Oh, I like him. Is that bad? I like him.
Well, I was looking at his Instagram while you were reading this, and I was like, I think I like him. I think I'm going to write this name down. And then we got to Cat and Small Cat, and I was like, I'm still writing him down. I think I like him. I don't like a motivational speaker type, but I like him. It's weird, guys.
His bio on Instagram also says, "Let's all bring a little more Ted Lasso into the world." I don't think you watched Ted Lasso, but
I have not.
I absolutely adore that show. And basically, it's like the human version of a golden retriever. So for him to like use that as a reference, I'm like, okay, this is good vibes. I also feel like there's something special about a man who loves cats. Call it the sexism in me, because it's not the same vibe I get if it was like a woman who loves cats. But it feels more nurturing. It feels more like kind-hearted soul than a guy who has just like a bunch of dogs. I feel like it shares a little bit more about him as a person.
That's deep. I didn't realize having a cat as a man meant that much to you.
I mean, but again,
I'm gonna be honest. I prefer a man with a dog.
Oh, I 100%. If I had to pick, it would be a dog. I'm just saying, like, I feel like it shares something about you. And also, as the person who has the experience with the people who have animals, have you found that across dating apps, if a man has a cat, it's like, ooh, it's bad vibes down the line also?
I am allergic to cats.
Same.
And so they're kind of like a non-starter for me. I mean, I'm allergic to dogs too, technically, so they should be a non-starter. But I'm the opposite of you. You take it as a sexism thing, and you're like, I'm like, cats, the TikTok where it's like, this is for girls. You're a boy. That's how I feel about cats. And I shouldn't, and it's wrong. And listeners, please check me on this bias.
We're unpacking it.
I need to go into therapy for this, but like, I really look at when I see a man that says like, I have a cat, I'm like, as a man? I'm like, why? And to be clear, the men I see on apps, they're not just getting like a normal cat. They're not going to the shelter. I saw a man recently with a hairless cat, and that just, the bad vibes are not working for me.
Correct. There are levels to it, like, yeah, it's the hairless cats. It's the ones that are like the Maine Coon cats that are like, 30 pounds, like,
yeah,
large.
Like you're waxing poetic. You're like, I see a man with a cat, and I see a nurturer. I see a man that could be a father to my children. I see a man that is going to take care of me in sickness and in health. And I'm like, you know what, Tomi, I don't see it, but I'm happy for you and your men with cats.
Thank you. Some other things from his Instagram. I just love a good beard as well. He has a great beard game.
He does.
I love a ginger, a little ginger-ishness in there. Outdoorsy things.
He's a good-looking guy.
It's good vibes, good content on there, good photos. It's the motivational speaker thing. I really wish that was not his actual. Because I thought, oh, maybe it's one of those where he's a model, but then he also says motivational speaker. But from these posts, it looks like he really is.
Right. If he had a different career, I would feel a lot better about him, but I'm still writing him down because I do see potential.
Okay.
So from Chris G, we go to a very original Chris S, who is a commodities broker. He is 28, lives in West Hollywood, California. This Southern gentleman turned California beach boy is ready to find love. His friends describe him as goofy, silly goofy mood, and easygoing. But when it comes to relationships, he isn't here to joke around. When Chris S falls, he falls hard. He's looking for an adventurous woman who is confident, kind, and selfless. He does not have a specific type and prides himself on falling in love with someone on the inside rather than the outside. In 5 years, he hopes to be married with kids and making a positive impact on the world. He's a firm believer that chivalry isn't dead, and he's ready to sweep Michelle off her feet. Some fun facts. Okay. Chris S gives a mean blue steel face. Chris S loves to travel. I'm going to come back to this. Let me read the list. Burnt pizza makes Chris S mad. Okay, so give me your take on this.
First of all, I want you guys to know that this is the first cast photo that we've seen that I'm like, this is an attractive man.
True.
Knowing that it's not like, let me see more photos of him. Like, no, this is the only photo I need to see.
Exactly.
Which means that I think he's going to get far because they love to have a good piece of eye candy. Honestly, looking at this guy, I'm like, I think this is what Greg stans think Greg looks like.
Yes. Agreed.
If I'm being honest, in terms of the vibes, facial structure, eyes, it's like a hotter version of Greg to me. Instagram, immaculate, suit photos. The ladies love it.
He doesn't have too many Instagram. He's 23 Instagram
Tux photo.
posts. Yeah. He's good looking.
Holding a baby. Come on. There's not one like him petting a dog, on a mountaintop. That's the only one he's missing, essentially.
How do we feel about his fun fact being that he loves to travel?
It's kind of boring.
That's my take.
But because I don't really see that reflected in his feed and anything else that he said, so I think it was more of like, oh, let me throw this out there. I guess I like to travel.
Right. And I see this on dating app. There's men that are like, traveling isn't a personality type. Like people say they're hobbies or whatever. And I'm like, it's definitely a hobby. I'm fine with saying I enjoy traveling. But I just, for a fun fact, I'm like, most people like to travel, Chris.
Well, I mean, yes and no, because I will say, like, that's one of my biggest pet peeves are friends or people who, like, are okay with just staying in their own little bubble for a very long time, not really taking the time to, like, explore anything new. Like, I get if you don't want to be, like, go, go, go all the time. And this is no knock to, like, my Disney lovers out there. But I'm like, how can you go to, like, Disney World, like, 2 times a year, 3 times a year, like, every year for, like, 10 years? And then you're never like, maybe I should try somewhere else. Maybe even
Disneyland Paris.
Yeah.
Disneyland Paris.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So, like, I appreciate if you're saying travel because I think that shows a little, not necessarily spontaneity, but, like, it shows that you're okay with change. You're okay to, like, experience some stuff. So I appreciate knowing that up front because that is something that, like, I love to do.
Watch the show, and he loves traveling to Disney World every year 5 times. Exactly. And I'm going to be like, okay. What did I tell you? But, but you're right. It shows a curiosity about
the travel, whatever. So
shows a curiosity about the world. Shows like a willing to like do something outside of their comfort zone. So those are good points.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that is all from Chris S. He's a good looking guy, guys.
He has 23 photos. His engagement on all of these photos, he has like 3,000 followers right now, is already like great. He's getting like 500 to, whatever on his photos. His mom? Is that his mom?
Good. Let me go back. I didn't check out mom.
These are some good genes.
That's mom?
That's mom.
I thought that was a sister.
Christy! Let me holla!
Wow, she looks
very good. Like,
the genes are very strong. I see it, but also, wow. That's important too.
It is. It really is. It's a peek into the future. And a great relationship with mom. I like that. Because there's three photos with mom on his feed of the 23 photos.
Oh, and his dad got married.
Healthy relationships with both.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this is both of my Chris's.
Yeah, that's who I have written down so far.
Both of my Chris's. Watch it be like, remember Christian from Katie's season? Everyone loved him. Essentially one of like the hottest guys there, and then like
He didn't even see that man.
Did not see that man. It would be a tragedy if producers let that happen because hopefully they learned from their mistakes once they saw, we should keep the hot guys around because people tune in.
Yes.
Crazy, I know. Crazy. Good for you, Chris S. You did a very perfectly crafted Instagram. Great bio and, not great, but you knew the photo would carry you, so we all have our strengths. Next, we have Clayton. Another one where you look at this photo and you're like, this is an attractive man. And it's also funny. Okay.
Is he?
Okay. Whoa. Ladies and gentlemen, the fire that I was just hit with through this screen here. Never in my life have I felt such animosity towards me, and I'm a Black woman who's walked through the streets of Alabama at night. So you can imagine my shock when I switched to the screen to see Nicole's face after I said that Clayton was an attractive man. Let me back it up.
Okay. Start over.
He is the Bachelor archetype for what they want on this show. He looks like he was plucked from the cornfields of the Midwest and put into this environment.
Agreed.
Like, it could not look more like a mashup of every, Bachelor contestant, top person.
There's some Ben Higgins looking in here.
Right,
There's a lot of different things. Like Colton, they definitely said Midwest
Jesse
is
Palmer.
best.
Mm-hmm. Precisely. It's something about the name Clayton to me. Imagine like you're getting your romance on and you're like, Clayton.
Yeah, it's not.
Are you guys out there?
Do you say Clay? Do you say Clay? But I
no.
And I talked about this with someone in DMs, but he's very teethy.
Teethy? It's a strong smile. Let's say that. You know what? Let's just dive in here. Okay. Clayton, 28, medical sales rep from Columbia, Missouri. Clayton is a Missouri thoroughbred. Are you a horse, Clayton? Who has it all. Good looks, a great job, and a wonderful family. The only thing missing is the perfect woman with whom to share his life. His dream woman is funny, independent, intelligent, and athletic enough to join him at the gym for a workout. He wants to find something truly special and is willing to put in the hard work to find love that will last forever. Clayton is so excited to meet Michelle and loves that she has a passion for her career. His mom is a teacher just like Michelle, and he finds it impressive that she's made this journey work without having to take time away from her students. Oh, he's reeling it in. Clayton truly believes that Michelle could be the perfect match for him. Well, they hit it off. Fun facts, he had a mohawk in college. His rapping alter ego is Claydo.
No.
It's a hate crime. Clayton would love to own multiple gyms.
Very Caucasian.
Let's pull up this Instagram, shall we? Clayton Eckert.
He does have a bachelor body.
He does have some pointy teeth, but they're not that bad.
It's just that they're large. Like, I'm like, are they veneers that need to be filed down a little more? I don't know.
No, I think these are because they're not all the same length. That I think that's a natural a brace's work, perhaps.
Oh, he played in the NFL?
Yeah. I mean, he looks like a linebacker. He very much is like, oh yeah, I went to Mizzou, hanging out with me and Petey and Bo.
His first picture is him holding a baby. Yeah.
34 posts. He has a little blackout post. All it says is hashtag Blackout Tuesday. All right. Thanks.
I'm going to take that one to the bank. Going to pay my own reparations with that
one. Well, I think for me, this is a pause, but not a pause. Did we decide what we're doing about this?
I think we decided we're doing it.
That we're going to say.
Yeah, so we can go ahead and dive into it.
Okay, cool. So, should I, preface this beforehand?
Yeah, we'll just say, if you... Well, I don't know. I feel like it's out there. Let's just do it.
Okay, so I think our rule here on content culture is that if it's in major headlines, if it's something that even if you're not online looking through Bachelor hashtags and all this stuff, that you're going to see it, then I'm not going to consider it a spoiler. And so for this season, they've already shared who the Bachelor for the following season is going to be, because there's, T that was going to be Greg, it was going to be Michael A, perhaps Andrew S, Tyler C even. That was just for the dreamers. Pour one out. But it has actually been confirmed that it is in fact Clayton. And when I see everything in front of me, I almost wish that I had known it was going to 100% be someone from this season. So I could have gone to this cast list and taken a look, because I highly doubt, how would it have not been him?
I would have been looking at Chris S. I would have been like, that's what they need to do.
But that's because we're not, That's because we have taste. But seriously, I'm like, when it looks like they've chiseled out this person from their bachelor handbooks,
The way you just did this man dirty, that's because we have taste. Like, poor Clayton. Clayton, I hope you're not listening.
You know what? I hope you are listening, Clayton, because this is not a knock on you. It's that someone told you don't go onto the show until you're 28 because that's the perfect age. Perfect age for it to be, oh, we're going to take you seriously as a contestant and as a lead, that you're actually here to find love. There's no way that you, a man who's 6 foot whatever and has this body of a linebacker, is having, struggles out there at 25, 24. So this is the age you come on. It's perfect timing. Your mom is a teacher. You have this connection. Like, apparently you can like get a little goofy because you like to rap Nicki Minaj every now and then and say your name's Clayton. It works. It works for the audience. I think they needed to have something, what they call a racial palate cleanser. And this seems to be the man for the job.
This man to me seems like he was written by Taylor Swift. That's really what I have to add to the conversation. This seems like Taylor Swift. She's happy now, but this seems like the man that Taylor Swift wrote her like Dream Man songs about.
Yeah, like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I would agree. It'll be interesting to see, because I remember when we watched Colton, because he gives me these Colton vibes of like, it's too perfect, it's too curated. Are we going to see these vibes of like, he knows that he is the best bet to be the next lead throughout the season? Or are we going to see that there's this genuine connection here, that it just happened to be this heartbreak, whatever, edit, and then he gets the lead
right
role?
Because the leaks, the news is saying that when we've found out that this is going to be our next lead, is that casting and the production team was just immediately taken by him and his story, and that we will see how heartfelt he is. So it'll be interesting to see.
Mm-hmm. So it is what it is. He at least, and I don't know how far he makes it. So, because as we've learned from Katie, it doesn't matter where you ends now. The rules, the glass ceiling, whatever, it's shattered, the illusion. So he could get out as early as you'd really want. Probably not, because they want people to fall in love with him. So at least top 6, top 8. But yeah, I think even if we did not have this information, it would be very dumb to not put him somewhere close to the top spots, just looking off of what we have here.
So next up we have Daniel. He's 26.
Daniel.
He's a firefighter from Austin, Texas. It says he brings the heat in all aspects of his life. He's living out his childhood dream of being a firefighter and spends his free time playing sports, swimming, hiking, and biking. It's a lot of outdoor activity for me. His favorite thing in the world is being an uncle to his 4 nieces, and he's ready to settle down and have a family of his own. He's looking for a woman that is adventurous, fun, intelligent, and above all kind. He loves that Michelle seems to have the same competitive spirit that he does, and he's optimistic he won't be going home a single man. Bold. His fun facts. Daniel really wants to know if aliens exist. Daniel is a Connect 4 champ, and he loves Christmas music. Let me switch over to the Insta. Oh, he's got...
Go girl, give us nothing, because that's the energy I felt through that entire bio. I was bored.
Yeah. And then I switched over to the Instagram bio, and the top of his grid, it's him in one of those like big yeehaw cowboy hats. Happy for him though.
All of this is... He reminds me of Clay off the bat.
Okay, I was getting a little bit of Dale, but like not quite. But Clay is a good comparison, I think,
in terms of energy. If you know what I mean, people, you know what I mean. Okay, it just seems like a black guy who doesn't date black women usually.
100%.
So also his Instagram says that he is in real estate in addition to being this firefighter, but I guess they're like, yeah, let's switch it up. And honestly, I would do firefighter if I had both.
Yeah.
And I was coming on this show, because that intro package is gonna be great. Slide down the pole. They'll love it. They
will eat it up.
I don't know what it is about Austin, Texas too. This must be a new casting hub for The Bachelor.
It must be.
Yeah, there's nothing.
Nothing jumps out to me.
I think it's honestly one of those that has an intro package on night one, and then he's also cut, and you're like, oh no, how sad, Daniel.
Yeah. Then we move on, and that's it.
We move. So we had Daniel. We're now moving to Edward.
Yeah.
What was that?
No, you'll know when you read it.
Oh gosh, Edward, 27. What was it? Wellness coach.
No.
Los Angeles,
you'll
California. Oh, okay. Edward is outgoing, optimistic, and a self-proclaimed amazing wingman. But now it's time to focus on finding happiness for himself. He spends most of his weekends exploring new places and needs a woman who isn't afraid of a little adventure. She should be emotionally articulate. Is that it? And have a healthy appetite for learning and personal growth. She also must love dogs because Edward's pup Willow is always by his side. Oh my God, a woman who doesn't love dogs. How will I ever find one? Edward loves to express himself through words of affirmation and physical touch. So if Michelle is looking for someone who isn't going to hold back, she won't have to look any further. Edward dreams of visiting Disney World one day. Edward enjoys listening to John Mayer's music, especially on road trips. Edward is excited by a good obstacle course. So Edward is a dog.
Yeah, he is a golden retriever. He dreams of going to Disney World one day.
It's funny because I said that about Ted Lasso, but it gives the energy, and you haven't watched the show, but he reminds me, there's a character on there, his name is Danny Rojas, and he's just like very fun, just like good vibes all the time, who's also kind of like a golden retriever person. He always just says football is life, like all the time, and that's what you're getting. That's what I'm getting from him. You love a good obstacle course. All right.
And then like the cast picture, just not doing anything for me.
Woo! But the Instagram is, come on through, Edward.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Eduardo. Good for you, sir. Good for you. Join me.
Let me take a look. Oh.
Let me tell you about my man, Edward. Bro, I'm so sad. First of all, you should have worn do you think, scroll down, do you think he should have done the beard in his cast photo? Maybe not.
I'm still on a clean face.
Young and childlike, but he's not a child.
No, he's not.
He's not a child.
Okay.
I will say, if this guy gets far enough, he has the makings of having a strong fitfluencer career. Mm-hmm. He's already at 11,000 followers. Lots of engagement on his stuff.
You know who he looks like?
Whom?
Tyler Posey. Do you see it? There's an Instagram photo where I see it. Hold on, I'll text it to you. Perhaps.
Please do. The wellness coach stuff about just the dogs, the John Mayer,
Disney World.
See, but for me, if you're in LA, that's fine. That means, I'm guessing you've been to Disneyland. You just want to go to Disney World. Sure. That's a distance. It's a distance.
I mean, perhaps.
It's very hard for me because I've never lived in a place where it's not even in driving distance to me. So when people have this intense dream of going one day, it's like, oh
yeah, okay. I've been to both, and so I'm like, is this really your lifelong dream? I guess for me, I'm that's a little rough.
I think maybe if I wasn't able to have that ability, you have a school trip where you can do something like that. But
right.
Wait, did you text it to me?
I did.
That photo, yes, he does look
okay.
Like
do you see it now? You were looking at me like I was crazy, and I was like, "No, I swear." In this photo,
yeah, in that photo for sure. This is difficult. I think he is a middle of the pack guy.
Okay.
He seems very bland, but I don't get bad vibes or good vibes. He's just there.
Okay.
That's all I have to say about you, Edward. You have a cute puppy. That's not a lie. I think it's an Australian Shepherd.
Okay, so next up we have Garrett. Garretts are traditionally cursed on this show, but we will see. He's 33. He's a tech CEO from Salt Lake City.
Sorry, keep going. I also accidentally skipped ahead and read, so just keep going.
Garrett is not afraid of a little risk. He dropped out of college to start what he says has become an incredibly successful tech company and spends his time traveling the world, skydiving, paragliding, and speed flying. He's always pushing himself to grow as a person and needs a woman who wants the same for herself. She should also be open-minded, authentic, and not afraid of a little salsa dancing. He's hoping for a family one day, and if a woman does not want kids, then he is not interested. Oh, that's a little, okay. He's serious about finding the one. Fun facts, he loves plants and calls himself a plant daddy.
That's what got me.
Growing up, he had a bowl cut, and he loves pickles. Just based off the bio, I would say this Garrett is probably cursed as well. I think the fact that he's like, if she doesn't want kids, I don't want her is like very... It's fine to like have that desire and know that's what you want in a partner. And I think it's good to know like that's a deal breaker. But again, it's not really his choice. So...
Yeah, I mean, of course, we're thankful for the open communication for once from a man of what you clearly want here in the relationship. But yeah, I think there's nothing that has been expressed from Michelle that, you know, that she doesn't want them. So it's weird that like he felt, or they made him like put that in there. I'm not really sure energy wise why. But good for him, I guess. His eyebrows are kind of what's getting me. I think it's weird. How can eyebrows be arched but not arched? That's what I'm looking at here.
The hair has a lot of volume.
That's what it is. It's like the hair quiff.
Yeah, he has a lot of fish photos. I have feelings on that. I'm glad he likes to fish, but there's just a lot of fish photos. It's getting aggressive.
Let's be honest, though. There's a difference between fish photos and fish photos. This is not the same, you're at your lake on a Saturday with Meemaw, and, you're holding it up and you smearing the blood on your face. Like, it's not hunting. It's like he's going out here in these exotic locations, scuba diving, whatever, snorkeling type of. That's a very different fish photo to me.
I categorize them all as the same. A fish photo is a fish photo, and I don't love it.
This is a poll for the audience, because for me, if I'm seeing a fish photo where it's someone, like off of a boat on a deep sea excursion type of thing, it's not the same.
They're not the same, but I still am like,
You're like, but I don't like it.
Yeah, like you like to fish, like on your vacation, like that's what you're gonna fly somewhere, and then like your choice of excursion is gonna be fishing. It's not. We might not be compatible.
I will say I think this is our first Asian representation that we've had. 12 people in.
Okay.
Good for you, Garrett, holding it down.
Okay.
Is
that confirmed?
Oh, no, it's not confirmed. Okay. At least from what I've seen perception-wise to myself. I might not have clocked some other people. But from what I've seen so far.
Okay. Got it.
And honestly, diversity-wise, I haven't looked through the whole cast. Maybe there's just like a whole slew of black men on the back end. I think there are. But I'm like kind of shocked that there's a lot of so many whiteys.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought we were listening and learning, ABC.
I thought this was going to be a diverse cast, and so far it is not giving that.
Garrett, it's upsetting because I think he's probably going to end up like my also adventure boy John from last season. I'd love more for you, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Okay.
We move. So is it Jack?
Yes.
Never let go. Jack, 30. Can I speak today? Former Army officer, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Jack is a sweet and compassionate man who is ready to start the next chapter of his life. He's incredibly loyal, especially when it comes to his family, and he describes himself as a genuine and driven describes himself as genuine, driven. Sure. Jack is looking for a woman who is emotionally mature, compassionate, silly, and up for joining him on a challenging hike. You guys are too physically fit. While he tends to be on the shyer side, he is attracted to women who are outgoing, strong, and not afraid to push him outside of his comfort zone. When Jack is excited about someone, he gets very motivated to do things that make her feel loved and appreciated. Aww. Luckily, Jack is very excited to meet Michelle, so we can't wait to see what he has planned for her. Fun facts. Jack will throw up at the sight of an onion. Get those Vidalias away from me, bro!
So does he have bad taste in food then? Because onions go in a... Okay.
They're essential. We'll get to it. Jack is afraid of dancing. Oh my god. Just leave now. Loves to play kickball. 3 strikes, you're out. Just like in the game of kickball, so...
But I clicked over to Instagram, and he's Wharton MBA.
Oh God! So the money is attractive. Gosh darn it!
He only has 5 Instagram posts.
For the right reasons. His first post was July 21st. This was starting to film in July, in August.
In June. Well, I don't...
No.
Maybe beginning of... Well...
Because they...
Oh.
I think they just finished filming, like, end of September.
Yeah.
So it must have been, like, August. So he just made... Essentially, probably just made this for the show.
Which Michelle did as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Similar
playbooks.
Okay.
Wharton MBA.
Not a top pick for me, but he is a veteran.
They love that.
The audience will love that. So, perhaps.
On sight of an onion.
Yeah, I'm stuck on that. I'm stuck on that one.
Like, does it have to be whole? Or if it's diced, it's just like, it's a no-go. Get that omelet away from thee, like...
I really don't know.
Jack, I hope that you take this time to reflect and figure that out. I want that for you. That's all I've got.
Sorry, I was reading a post from our next contestant, Mr. Jamie. He is 32. He's a biotech CEO from San Diego, California. He's a world traveler with a taste for all things and is the type of guy who will show up at the airport and let the ticketing agent decide his destination. So he's a little bit chaotic. A little too chaotic for me. I like adventure.
Lord
not
Jesus.
That much.
No.
Yes, he actually did that and had an amazing week in Uruguay. It's not for me, but good for him. He has a great job, is extremely smart, and has a healthy idea of what he needs in a wife. He's looking for someone to be his partner in this never-ending adventure called life. She should be independent, driven, and always ready to head out for dinner. For Jamie, life is about valuing cultural experiences and making memories. Fun facts, Jamie once traveled to Ecuador just to try their chocolate. He has never watched an episode of reality TV in his life. Isn't sports reality TV? Let's have that debate. Okay, continue. And his favorite game is chess. He has 118 Instagram posts.
Let's also talk about this cast photo. They say that this man is 32, but I want you to know that this is a lie. Because the man that I see in this photo is a strict 54. And there's a saying out here that says black don't crack, but apparently it's wrong because this is the oldest 32-year-old I've seen since like those...
No, he's just not 32.
Just the ones that I've seen that are, photos of basketball players from the 70s and they're like have a receding hairline and it looks like they're... It's no. No.
He's also wearing like some...
A dashiki?
Yes.
Yeah. Which the thing would be, hey, if you are that in tune with your culture, then I love that for you.
Mm-hmm.
But why do I feel
Yep.
like he's not?
I feel like a casting direct. I feel like someone on set said, like, put this on, and he did.
No!
I do.
I would pray to God no. I would pray to the good Lord. Maybe he said, "Oh, I saw Nancy Pelosi do this once."
That's the vibe. I don't love it. And like you said, the wrinkles around the eyes, I just, like, I'm 30
Mm-hmm.
and this man's 32. I pray that nothing in the next 2 years makes me look like this.
2016 hit him hard, and then he decided to just like stay out in the sun the entire time.
No sunscreen.
No sunscreen.
Oh gosh. He writes on his mirror. He writes "Young King."
Oh God.
So
So he's a hotep. Confirmed. Good God. Black brothers and kings listening to this. Do not go on this show.
Free yourself.
Free yourself.
He needs to go on night one. That's really all I have to say about it.
But he won't. He won't, because he's going to come on saying some, crazy shit about, like, slavery was a choice. And like, ooh, look at this man. He's a free thinker. Give him a red hat.
Oh my God. Tomi, are you looking at the Instagram?
Oh my God. Did he really say this?
No, it says, okay, so I saw one picture. The next mirror picture says, "Young King, what chains? My mind is boundless. What prison? My soul is endless."
So basically they got skinny fucking Dr. Umar up here because, like...
Explain that for our white listeners. You said hotep earlier, and I was like, explain this for our white listeners.
Segment change. Welcome to AAVE with Tomi.
It's basically a pick-me. Okay, it's like a pick-me.
A hotep is... No, I would say it's someone who thinks that they're, like, very spiritual. They think that they're like not necessarily smarter than other people, but they're like, oh, I'm so well read, like, I understand what's actually going here on at the root. This is what they want you to think, like, we're all slaves to the industry of capitalism in the world, and like, just like going...
A good example would be Kyrie Irving, if you're like familiar with some of his... No?
No.
You don't think so? Okay.
I mean, is he like anti-vax, like all this stuff, like flat earth things? Like, yes, but I'm trying to think of someone I would feel very much like a closer probably to a Kanye.
Okay.
Would be like a better, like, all-encompassing type of vibe thing. And it's like they're almost so woke that they're not woke. If that, like, they're trying to move towards this thing of progressiveness where it ends up becoming like a very conservative, like, mindset. And that's where it is, where he's like, oh, I'm up for, like, Black liberation and, like, lifting up people in the Black community, and it's just, it's too much.
There's just a lot happening on this
layers.
Instagram account if you have not looked.
Dr. Umar is also like an internet personality who is like a specialist in the hotep agenda. Let's just say that. I'll link something. You know what? No, I don't know if I want to do that and give more views.
We're not giving them traffic. We're not giving them
But basically, just know that
it's not a compliment.
It's not a compliment.
Okay, so I'm now on my third mirror picture from him.
Oh,
Young King, so favored. Even my demons, devils and skeletons root for me. You hold within you the infinite expressions and potentials of the universe because you are the... Why is your mirror this big that you can write all of this on there?
Now it makes sense why he looks so old. It's because he was using a bunch of, like, coconut oil, grapeseed oil as sunscreen instead of just going out and getting some Neutrogena like the rest of us.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of, like, nature things. He's talking about golden milk coffee with turmeric and ginger. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with liking these things. There's a lot happening here.
Jamie, for my spirit, I have to move on because
Let's do
This is
that
not what my
exactly.
ancestors want for me right now.
Let's continue. I've been shaken to the core.
So we have Jamie, and we have Joe.
Nice palate cleanser.
Oh, thank you, Joe. He gives me very good, like...
I'm writing him down.
Look at you, sir. He kind of also gives me like a nice, like, Ivan type of thing of like, you look at his face like, aw, sweetie. He's 28. He's also from Minneapolis, Minnesota. That's a very good thing. Real estate developer. Joe is a Minnesota-born and raised city boy with a heart of gold. He played basketball at the University of Minnesota, and while he says that basketball was his first true love, he's now ready to build a life outside of sports and find a wife. Joe, who describes himself as introverted, is looking for a woman who is smart, caring, articulate, and able to make him laugh. He wants someone with aligning values and hopes they are ready for a family because Joe hopes to have at least 3 or 4 kids. Okay, overall, Joe wants to find a real one with whom he can build something solid that will stand the test of time. Fun facts, he is scared of spiders. Love that you can admit that. Loves snacks. I wish there was some specificity there. And he wants to travel to the Galapagos Islands one day. I like the travel specificity.
Yes, agreed.
I love Joe's vibe just from like photo. Very warm, very caring, nice. I love the Minnesota, perfect age, has a real job.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take a look at this Instagram. Joe, don't let me down. His bio says, let up the suicide doors. This is my life, homie. You decide yours.
I was trying to remember what song that's from, but
yeah, I'm Googling.
Okay, I'm like that could be a, like, if it's a Kanye lyric.
It is very much. I was like, it's Jeezy and Kanye. Can't tell me nothing. Oh.
Okay, you know what? That we'll accept that one. We'll accept that one.
Didn't know you're getting a show today.
Listen, this man does not have a hairline, but I still like him. I wrote him down, and I'm gonna stick beside him.
Let's look at these photos. First of all, he has 100 posts. Thank you. For once, if you're going to use your Instagram, use it. Use it.
Exactly.
Don't be afraid.
Don't.
And do great photos. All sports. Wait. What's his job? I'm so confused. Real estate developer.
Yeah, but it kind of seems like maybe he works in sports.
Yeah.
Or like around sports. Not like as an athlete anymore, but around sports, it seems like.
It looks like he's like a photographer for media. Okay. Post some LeBron love. Okay. I like it.
Okay.
This is going to be one of those that really hurts if he doesn't get far.
Yeah, I wrote him down. You know what? And
he has to. He has to. Minnesota, loves basketball, same age.
They're both biracial.
Both biracial. I didn't want to say it. He could have been a light-skinned man.
He had pictures with his mom. She's white.
Just kidding.
But yeah, I feel a connection. Maybe there will. I'm gonna laugh if we start and there's no connection. But I wrote him down. I am.
Joe, I feel this.
Ready to buy a ticket to this train ride. I'm ready. Am I all in? No, but I'm intrigued.
Okay, but I'm surprised. He has a fish photo. How do you feel?
I don't love it. Let's talk about it, though. I feel like there's a difference with a white man with a fish photo and a black man with a fish photo.
You
and
we just change the rules here.
Again, listeners, hold me accountable. I won't let men get cats, and I will okay a fish photo for some men. But I just... I feel like it's different. Now, what I would say would be an absolutely no if he had the deer head picture. I would say, I don't care what race you are. That is not happening.
That's it for me as well.
All right. And our last man today is Mr. Joe Mari.
Joe
Mari. He is a personal trainer. He's 26 and from Fresno, California. He says he is a sucker for love. He falls hard and fast and says that a smile tells you everything you need to know about a person. Michelle does have a great smile.
She does.
He is a driven, gentle giant whose dream is to own a gym and have a woman by his side to grow old with and enjoy life. His perfect woman is simple, athletic, and goofy. It kind of sounds like Michelle. Life is never boring when he is around, and he plans to make the most out of every second he has with Michelle. Some fun facts. Okay. I'm sorry. Okay. Let me read it.
Go.
Okay. Jamari eats an entire watermelon every morning. Okay. I can't stand for this. The light of Jamari's life is his puppy Buddy, and he would love to be a tour guide in Antarctica.
Why were you laughing, Nicole?
There is a stereotype that all Black people love watermelon. I don't know why this is a thing, but it is, and it's like a bad thing. I don't know the whole history.
We'll save the history lesson for another day.
But to be a Black man and choose to make your fun fact that you eat an entire watermelon every day is a choice. It's a choice.
You know what? Our good friend, what was his name? Jamie. You know what Jamie would say? You played yourself, brother.
Young king.
How dare you put this mindset into this white audience?
Young king.
That we just all love watermelon.
Escape the demons. Free yourselves from the chains. You have the power in your mind to do this. So yeah, I'm out on Jamari.
Yeah, that for me is the red flag. Not that you like watermelon. Go ahead, do you. It's a delicious fruit. Right. I only eat it in small quantities because it makes me sick. But for you to put this in your bio on a white majority audience show is a choice. A freaking choice.
And I can't support it. And so I'm sorry, Jamari, but I will be rooting for you to go home on night one.
Yes, it's support Black men.
Until. Jamie, Jamari, you gotta go.
Joe, we still with you though. We still riding with you.
No, I'm all in though. So let me know.
Yeah, and I think also another, instance about Antarctica. Like, good for you guys.
Looking at the Instagram, I don't really need to, but just pulling it up really quickly. It's a lot of personal trainer stuff. Mm-hmm. We've got a Bible verse, and it's not doing anything for it. It's not changing my mind. So that's all we really need.
This is an A1 day one. You out of there,
please, with a quickness, Michelle.
With a quickness, perhaps only not. I mean, again, I have to wait until what the rest of the cast looks like and see. But
this just I'm sorry, I'm stuck on this, but this just proves our point that it is white people casting Black men. Because if you had a Black casting director in there and they said, my fun fact is that I eat an entire watermelon every day, they would say, boom, bye.
Slap you. Yeah. And they said, we're not doing this today. Also, just because, I see I watch Insecure. I know there's some attractive Black men out here. So what are these people doing here on the show? Love Island? Come on.
They really fumble the bag because I'm like, and then America's like, this is all Black men have to offer. I'm like, no, you're wrong.
Yeah.
But I get it. If I were a Black man, I wouldn't want to be on this show either.
But here we are giving those hot takes anyway. What a time it has been today.
This was fun. It felt like getting back. I mean, we've done pods since the last season ended, but it felt like we were back in the saddle.
Back on that horse. Michelle, I'm sorry I dogged out your cast before because those cast photos were not it. I highly encourage everyone to also look at some Instagram photos as well. Or just, you'll see on night one when they step out of the limo that they're like, oh my God, they're actually not that bad. Just from this half, pick your top, of an all-around pick. Not necessarily for Michelle or whatever, just best person.
Okay, so I had 3 names written down. I'm going to narrow it down to 2. Chris S. or Joe is who I'm riding with. I liked Chris G, an option. He's there. But those are going to be my top 3 from this half of the cast.
I think I would agree with the Chris G and a Joe Coleman, because Chris S, he's very pretty, but that's all. Like, I didn't feel anything else.
Right. I'll be curious to see if he has personality when we finally see him.
But I'm ready, guys. I know I said that I wasn't going to watch this season and that I was giving up. You can run the tape back. It's fine. I admit my faults. I'm okay to say, hey, I messed up.
They did what they needed to do with the trailer for Michelle.
Woo! That's
because
really
I saw the trailer and I was like, you know what? It's support Black women every day. I can't wait. They had budget for this. I was like, I'm in. So they knew what they were doing.
Yeah. Perhaps the best promo I have seen. I mean, Hannah B's is also, of course, like the standard. I struggle to see which one is better. I almost want to say Michelle, because the difference is in the COVID era.
Yes.
It is stark. When Hannah's came out, I was like, ooh, wow, this is a very good promo. Like, but they always had budget. Like, we always knew that.
Right.
But to say, like, oh, we pulled out the stops for Michelle because we love her so much. This season's going to, whatever.
They did everything. They got the gown. They had a Black designer with the gown. She said, this is what I want. And they said, okay.
I'm hoping this means that the looks will be great. I'm just like, everything, I'm ready to tune in and kind of like, just, do I feel bad for Katie? Not really.
Okay.
But
she found love.
She's okay. She's doing whatever. A little cross-country relationship. Not country, I guess. International.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So make sure you guys tune in for part 2 when we go over the rest of the cast. And then we'll give our final thoughts of who we think are in the top 4. With perhaps possible... I don't know if we did ring winner last time even. But we'll do at least possible top 4.
Yeah. And remember that, like, my personal top 4 is different than, like, although Michelle has taste, so perhaps not.
We could do both. We'll see.
We'll see. All right. Well, guys, be sure to tune in next Thursday for the second part of this episode. Follow us on Instagram at Content Culture Pod. Follow us on Twitter at official CC Pod. We'll be tweeting for premiere night, and that's about it. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.